What's up, everyone? Ooh, sorry for that. What's up on the Russian Eagle? Back finally with another video. We have hit 50 subscribers. I just want to thank you all. Even though it does seem like a small number, it just does mean a lot to me. Thank you. Thank you very much, all of you. So, let's get right into this battle, and boy, it's a juicy one. Here we have a 3v3 siege on Carthago. Oh, look at this lovely map. That's not the best bit about it. This over here is the best bit about it. 12 full units of guerrilla deployed troops. Look at them. All just hidden there. And we're ready and waiting to strike. Alrighty. Let's have a quick look at army comps. So, I was playing with Bladestorm of the Royal Knights Tawny team, which will be coming up soon. The Pixelated Polo Rome 2 Tawny is coming up soon, as most of you would know about, because I think most of you are competing in it, or some of you are at least. So we're just getting some team practice in, but we are playing with some randoms. So we have Hydro Blood. He's playing Kush. Mainly got a force of Shotel Warriors, Royal Kushite Archers, Kushite Royal Guard, more archers. Further forward, he's got some swordsmen, and swordsmen on all the towers. He's got a large amount of swordsmen, few units of amateur towers, and 4 units of Royal Kushite Archers. Also, the rulings for this were 1-2-4. Most of you would know what 1-2-4 is, but 1-2-4 is one arty, 2 pike, 4 artillery. No, oh my goodness, that just came out so wrong. One arty, 2 pike, and 4 ranged. So range counts as anything that comes under the missile tab in the unit deployment roster. Over here, well, let's go over Lusitani first. Lusitani is being played by Bladestorm. He's bringing Iberian Swords, Veteran Shield Warriors, and 4 units of the Balak Slingers. Yeah, solid line of Veteran Shield Warriors, and for his general, he's bringing a unit of Lusitani Nobles. Oh, and further forward, he's got another 3 Iberian Swords, as well as the unit over there. Over here. Over here's got 1, 2, 3, 4 units of these guerrilla warriors on this side. Ready. Let's go now to my army. I am playing Novio. I have a general of Oathsworn. I brought 2 units of Light Horse, just in case of a salling out from these guys. I have a Celtic Giant Ballista. I have about 5 units. Hold on, 3. Yeah, around 5 units of Celtic Warriors, 3 units of the Fierce Swords, and a unit of Oathsworn. Yeah. And all the way over here, I am committing a larger proportion of force over here. So I've got 4 units of Guerrilla Swordsmen, and my 4 ranged units are 4 units of these Gaelic Hunters, which are over here as well. As we can't see Defender's army, the player who was playing Macedon did, and Carthage They both broke the rules as well, but it doesn't really matter. Just some, well, where these two are placed, it doesn't really matter. That one can sort of affect it, but not, and that one just gets overwhelmed pretty quickly. Anyway, so let's start the battle, guys. So over here, let's just quickly pop over here. Over here, Egypt. Oh yes, we are facing Egypt, Macedon, and Carthage. My memory serves me. Yes, Carthage. So Egypt did put a unit of thorax pikes in that gap. Was anticipating that we would move. Not that we would sit there for a good while. Okay, let's go over. Our Kush ally is making a large assault, a full-on assault on the settlement. At the moment, just sitting back. There's something interesting about this Celtic Giant Ballista. When you try to manual fire it at a wall, it's like, no, what, this wall? It's like, no, I won't work. You tell the AI to fire at it, AI hits it 9 out of every 10 shots. Which is quite interesting. So over here we have Kush pushing up with swordsmen with the towers on the walls. His towers are getting shot at. That one, oh, he did bring medium siege shells. Interesting. Getting shot up by this Carthaginian Bastion Ballista, bought by Carthage. And see, they aren't. Oh, that Oniga's firing. But it sort of was fair because half their artillery isn't firing. But still, it was a breach of rules. But there's nothing we could do about it. In here. Okay. Kushite troops are now starting to line up walls. We have some thorax swords for Macedon, moving into position to defend. We were just sitting here at this moment. At the moment, just the main aim is to try and blow up that wall. Athens has got 3 units of thorax. No, Egypt. Oh! Now I'm doing it. Egypt has 3 units of thorax swords by that gate over there, so we weren't going to try and attempt to breach that. Did we even bring a ram? I thought we brought a ram, so I don't think we even would have breached the gate anyway. Oh. Over here, we have Kushite troops. Kushite swords have landed on the roof now. Oh. They are fighting thorax swords. So, they are a similar style unit. Pretty sure similar stats. Unsure, to be honest. That Kushite Bastion Ballista is pretty much dead now. And Kush is landing a good amount of troops on the wall. Now we have Macedonian archers. Well, archers for Macedon. So they're technically not called Macedonian archers. With archers for Macedon, getting shots on the Kushite, well not Kushite, the Kush swordsmen on the wall. Which is good because they're getting some good enfilading fire on them. We also can see there's some African pikemen from Carthage down there. And thorax swords. Over here this wall's almost down. Oh. And at this point the artillery was running a bit low on ammo. So there's like 1-2 shots left in. And I was just like, oh, come on, wall break. Come on, wall. You can still go in through siege, but the wall opens an additional bridge point, which you can... And there goes the wall. Over here, the Kush guy has landed a good force on the wall. Still hasn't attempted to knock out that ballista, which I can't tell if it is or is not firing. This unit of Macedon pushed up a unit of Thorax swords. They have been surrounded and again outflanked, but in return these archers are just shredding into the flank of these swordsmen. Getting good kills. How many kills have these archers got now? Let's have a look. 36. It's been like 3 minutes. Going well, going well. Kush is now moving up some reinforcement swords. For some reason Kush put their army all the way back over here. Interesting, why? Over here, Carthage has got a decent force just sitting over there. Interesting, there's archers coming off the wall. Okay, I think he was pushing these archers off the wall. I mean, not archers, these swordsmen to try and get amongst the archers, but that didn't work. Over here, just using the last remaining shots to, well, also try and take down this wall, but also get some shots in here, because Athens, Egypt does have a unit of Thorax swords in there. So I was trying to hit that as well as the wall. Macedon is now moving up hoplites to counter Kush over here. Kush has got a stable foothold, I would say. It is being fought for over here, but it is a stable foothold at least. These Thorax swords are losing, but they are holding for quite a while against these swordsmen. Yeah, no, and their combat even on this side, going decently against these swords. One thing we were sort of telling him to do is to move up his archers, because his archers will be grateful. Well, would be. What was the word I was trying to say? Would be helpful. That's okay. It took me forever to say that. It would be helpful. Well, for him, at least, because then he can get shots on. Because he does have Royal Kushite archers, like one of the most decent archer units. Which then he could attempt to suppress the enemy archers as well as get shots on the Macedonian troops. Got some hoplites at the wall and exit here. So once they do break through there, they'll just go into your hoplites and or will they? The hoplites seem to be moving back. Interesting. Oh, we have Kush troops. Kush swordsmen. Now, a unit of 47 chasing after these archers. That's why those hoplites moved, because he was going to intercept the Kush swords. But now the Carthaginian, the mercenary battle extended from Carthage are now getting charged. That is good. These are, Hydroblood is harassing the enemy archers and, well, which is good, because he's helping himself, because he's diverting the missile fire away from his men for the price of such a cheap unit. Over here, we're getting ready to move out at the moment. Getting to move further forward. Over here. There's nothing much happening on this side at the moment. We were taking a bit slow. We weren't meant to leave our ally, but he seems to be doing quite decently alright as well. can see he hasn't moved any reserves yet. Carthage have brought their slingers back up. Same with these mercenary crit archers. 1, 2, 4, okay. So I just carrying missiles, just ranged due to rules. We are moving towers up just to try and get the scorpions on them to get shots off if they can. Got Lusitani now forming up over here. Kush just moved up more swordsmen. Oh, we have some swordsmen routing in 70. Oh, using fire arrows. Nice. To those who don't know, fire ammo is good because it weakens the morale of enemy soldiers. And it also does, it's not as damaging or accurate, but just due to the fact that it lowers morale, it's quite good. Because you can make units of even 100 plus route. Like, well, this unit's a unit of 52, and it's routing, but that's what fire arrows do. And there's a unit 41 swords on. Is that this? No, that's, oh, that's the same unit. That was a different unit before mode. And we start making our assault on this side. I'm starting pushing up towers with all my Celtic Warriors and Oathsworn on them. Over here, Kush is still fighting, but the swords units they had up there died. Hydra Blood didn't move off his reserves quick enough as well. He's now moving the rest of his army. Kush guard. Shoto wise. Moving up. Okay, my men are now hitting the wall. What Celtic guys getting out of tower? I just hate how deadly these arrow towers are. They're literally that deadly. Because they can slaughter thousands of men. As soon as my men land on the wall, we got Thorax swords throwing Peeler up here. You can see unit Fierce swords. Like, this guy had, I'm pretty sure had his men on fire at will. So that's why they're like throwing 20 million javelin Peeler into the wall. I'm pushing down there to go engage them. Oof. But with that jet, it was good that Peeler volley happened like on 5-10 men that were down there, instead of like the horde that's coming down there now. Just pushing up troops now, landing on the walls. Very minimal resistance. I did try to push down here, but it is a quite strong defense down here. So I did decide against it. I did decide to fall. My main thought was to try and push out through here, get into the back of those swords as well. Got some Celtic warriors that land on the wall up here, pushing down here, engaging hoplites and mercenary Iberians. What's happening over here? Kush moved up his 3 swordsman reserves onto the walls now. They're engaging with some Thoric swords. From Macedon. But Mastodon does have quite a few units still on guard over there. Lusitania is now pushing up troops. Lusitania is pushing up 3 units of Iberian swords. Egypt has set up a solid defense here and here. So if we try and push them through those gates. I was trying to push out to try and engage at least some of them to help blade my ally. Oh, those javelin volleys, deadly as ever. And here's something we got quickly: these hoplites are facing the wrong way. So we managed to get the attack in from the rear, which was good. Lusitania is moving men somewhere. I'm moving up infantry to push through that gap. So I sworn some fierce swords, and as there is no cav sally out, I will be pushing in these tunes of light horse on foot. Because it's the initial, pretty much when you're attacking the settlement, the defenders usually do a cav sell out pretty much instantly, because it's meant to disrupt your lines and hold off your attack. Sometimes they do it later in the game, but once you've reached the walls, it's pretty much useless, because you can basically just fall back into the walls, defend the breach points that you've created, and the cav can't really effectively hurt you. Over here we have a unit of thorax swords from Egypt now marching into the fray down here. Against the Celtic warriors and fierce swords that are down here that aren't doing overly well. There's the Celtic warriors on the wall that'll get some javelin shots on them, but that's not going too overly well. I pushed a unit of fierce swords and Oathsworn through the gap, engaging these thorax swords units, which was helpful, because the plan was to have one unit charge the rear of the thorax swords to break them, and then have another unit just clean up these hoplites, because I'm highly down the Macedonian player didn't notice that. Well, they didn't notice that we were doing that. Now we're just cleaning up that unit. So the thing is, there's only unit 33 now attacking these hoplites, which is not good. Over here we got we got Macedonian Iberian swords getting into position over here. My Lusitania ally is mounting out towers, but some of his towers are a bit smoking from fire damage. Kush is winning on the walls, looks like, but he's getting heavily shot at by archers at the moment. Kush has a foothold on the wall. Isn't sending up men to really exploit it, but does have a foothold. Over here, these thorax swords are pretty much murdered, done. Oathsworn on Celtic warriors amongst them, but we are getting recharged by this unit of African pikemen, which I told my Celtic warriors, like, go engage before they get into pike war. And I pushed my light horse in as well, just to try and get them amongst the pikes for a higher chance of kills. but it wasn't going all overly well. I'm pushing Morai, attempting to push Morai out this gap. At the moment. They have 2 units of these Nubian bowmen over here, targeting a unit of Oathsworn that's just getting shot to pieces. Just due to people not liking Oathsworn. Lusitania is now moving units in. We have Iberian swords now marching on the wall. There's more Iberian swords. Also now, siege shells from Lusitania now begin to land on the wall. Getting some troops on there. Got Iberian swords from Lusitania. Oh, they're coming off the wall. The African pikemen stopped engaging me because I pulled the unit of Oathsworn out, because Oathsworn is at this point on this line I was running out of combat troops, because pretty much like a good force of my army is over there, so I was having to manage what combat troops I had. Lusitania managed to get some Iberian swords into attacking the pikes. I was just trying to effectively kill off these stoic swords. I'm moving a unit 42 Celtic Warriors that came back, as well as my ballistic crew for the empty. Lusitania is moving more Iberian swords into the settlement to try and counter these slingers. Macedon formed up hoplites in the gateway to counteract the Lusitania attack, and heavy archer fire is making Lusitania pull off. Same with the pikes, which then the pikes come off on the back side of me. Over here, Macedon and Carthage and Egypt throwing more troops to try and hold all this back. They are effective in doing it, and there's 4 units pinned down in that gap, as well as units of mine routing. We got the Carthaginian general moving up, which is a bit cocky, but his units must be brave, and he'll probably need to rally them. So that's probably why he's moving it up. Most likely, anyway.
Back, warriors, back!
Lusitania, Iberian swords and light horse of mine are routing.
Kill!
Lusitania is now moving a unit of veteran shield warriors and some Iberian swords to try and force their way into this gap. I think it's quite interesting because the pikes did move up on my fierce swords. They've left that open, which then now you have an open pathway onto those Balic slingers. But Carthage has just realised that. He tried to reform, but Lusitania got amongst the pikes before they could fully drop, which was perfect. Over on the gate. Oh no, let's have a look at how Kush is going. Kush got slaughtered once again on this wall. Kush is now moving up Shotel wise. Pretty much. Oh no, I got another 2 units of Shotels. 3 units of Shotels. Pretty much most of the main melee units, as well as now fully committing. Because this was at the point. Now, sorry, I just want to pause this for something. This is where the game changes. This is when we start our assault. The pike unit that was in this gate, Egypt's pikes, have now moved. They think it's been like 20 minutes into the assault. There's no chance we're going to have a unit or two there. Well, units there, and if we do, it's like 1 or 2. So they kind of think they can easily handle it. Not 12 full units of combat troops and melee infantry. Over 12, about 1,400 men that are over here, just prepping to wait till one pike unit moved. Okay, let's hop over here, and we're beginning our assault now, which is still hidden. It's amazing. We're marching them up just to keep the stalk ability going and all that, so they can't be seen. At this point, we were basically all in on this side. We were about to go all in on this side. We told our Kush ally to just go head on push, because he could see what we were doing. So just head on push. We need to bring as many of their troops over to this side as we could, just to draw them off that point. And I know what some of you might say, taking the point's the coward's way to do it. But that was pretty much the sort of the only way we were going to do it. They were holding us at the walls. We haven't really got a substantial foothold, and when we come off the walls we just get slaughtered. They have quite a large amount of forces in reserve over here, and good forces as well. And they did sally out with some Egyptian cavalry on this flank against Kush to hit a unit of their archers, but they're pretty much dead now anyway. They would have just got slaughtered anyway by Kush's archers. I'll also move some of the Shotel lines over there. Lusitania and I sort of slowed down our pushes, because we did pull out. We wanted to make like it was we were regrouping, prepping for another assault, so I'd probably like draw troops over. Over here we're capping the gate over here and the towers. They didn't notice. It was beautiful. We just waited. We knew if we waited enough time it would happen. Kush has now got Shotel wires on the wall, fighting some thorax swords. Well, losing, well, combat even. It keeps balance, keeps changing. Some Lusitania forces are still engaged in the skirmish, but they are just dying off. Over here we're pushing in now. Gallic hunters, guerrilla swords, guerrilla eyes from Lusitania now pushing up. We were full on taking the point. We're just like, we're doing it. And also we were a tad salty, just because the enemy team was being a bit of a, I don't know if I can say it, but I'll go the polite version, an a-hole. Just being polite and not saying the actual word. Even though, yeah, but still. I'm being complete a-hole and just like, yes, screw you, you a-hole. So I am cleaning it up just in case people watch my videos, like young people. Don't get yelled at by some angry mum saying you swore in a video what my child watched. Okay, now we have Lusitani pushing up more forces
Run, Cassio!
into the breach. But as you can see, the Zerbs of Macedon and are moving up. Just the march of the hoplites. And another unit of African pikes that just slaughtered these vet shield warriors. You could tell we weren't going to breach this. No matter how much we threw in there. That's why we're doing this. This is our contingency. We've got Gaelic hunters, we've got guerrilla swords, everything moving up. And it's all still hidden. You can tell the Kush guy's going full out assault. We advised him on doing it just to divert as much enemy attention away from there as he could. I swear that we all could. It was because if they threw one eye over there and saw it, we're done for. Okay, meanwhile we've just arrived at the point. We're now capping the point. And we begin setting up defenses for the point. Meanwhile, none of this can be seen. All of it's hidden. So the enemy team's going to get a ping saying we're losing a victory point. They look at the victory point and they're like, what? Because they can't see anything. It's amazing. Kush is now pushing up the rest of his archers just to get some shots on, just to get some fire, some extra kills. Lusitani's attempting to push their way in, but Lusitani's pretty much just going to get slaughtered.
Warriors, withdraw!
What was the forces here was just a distraction. A very large distraction, but just for this. There is some archers routing that we did massacre, which we did actually sort of think that would make the units unhidden, but actually didn't. So that was helpful. We're just forming up defenses now. Getting archers in place, getting melee troops and reserves in place, just in case. We got Carthaginian hoplites, I think, moving down, as they probably figured. But all this time, the time is ticking down. This once we have full control of the camp point. Egypt is still sending troops over there, which is quite interesting. And I don't think they realised, because they probably just thought we were running out of men. Well, like we had guerrilla men, but they were over here. Because why would we wait so long over there? But it's called patience, my friend. Patience.
Great work, men!
1,200 men capping the point. In about the minute, 2 minutes it takes to win the point, they can't really get a substantial force that's enough to get through the Lusitanian line and then my lines to recap the point within that time. That was the plan. If they had any major substantial reserve in this area or nearby, which prevented us from setting up defences or was too strong and just pushed straight through before the timer won, that was us done, pretty much. Kush has made ground, but it just pretty much they're forming out defences and retreating to the point because they figured what we've done. It's surprising there's still substantial reserves over here. And that is it. We have officially won the day. Kills. We didn't go that high in kills because pretty much most of our forces were over that side, and as you saw, they didn't really get engaged, so it's not a high body count for this one. But we have Hydroblood, who was playing Gush, 718 kills, highest kills from a unit of Shoto Warriors. We have Bladestorm, who was Lusitani, and is a fellow Royal Knight. Bladestorm got 494 kills, the highest kills was 99 from this unit of IBN Swords. Then there's me, I was playing as Nervii, highest kills is 118 from this unit of Celtic Warriors. Let's go over the defenders. Carthage got 1287 kills, highest kills coming from, of course, the unit of African Pikemen with 292. Salty Joe 2081 89 oh fudge 2089 11 with 1622 kills. Highest kills 356 from a unit of Thorax Swords. Impressive. Then we got our Outward Control with 773 kills. Highest kills 203 from a unit of Nubian Bowmen. So guys, hope you enjoyed that battle. It was fun to play with. Please leave a like and a comment if there's anything that you feel like it's worth commenting about. Whether it's something I can improve on or something you thought was good, I'll be happy to hear it and take it under full consideration. So guys, thanks for watching. I've been the Russian Eagle. Hope you all have a good one.